Looking at Reform's contract with the people, which they call it, rather than calling it a manifesto. Lots of content in quite a small document relative to the other parties. On family, they're proposing marriage tax allowance up to 25% transferable. That's a massive incentive of marriage and benefit to marriage and families. So something we'd be very pleased to see. Also, front-loading child benefit so that people can choose to stay at home with their very young children. Again, supportive of family. They also want to push child-friendly app-restricted smartphones for kids and launch an inquiry into social media harms. They talk about stopping child grooming gangs as well and some new offences around that. So good stuff on family. No mention of abortion or euthanasia or even conversion therapy either in this manifesto. They're just not things that Reform is talking about there. On education, they want to ban transgender ideology across all schools, which is very much something we'd like to see. They also talk about schools having single-sex facilities and also public buildings and changing rooms as well, being single-sex. They're going to keep VAT exemption on independent schools, but also have a tax relief of 20% on independent school fees. We're supportive of that because we're supporting lots of small independent Christian schools that are really trying to struggle to make ends meet, often have volunteer staff and teachers, and try and make the fees as affordable as possible. And so this is encouraging to see this kind of tax benefit for independent schools. And so we would support that. Talk about as well a patriotic curriculum in all schools as well. Free speech is a big issue for Reform. They want to do a comprehensive free speech bill in which they say there'll be no more debanking, no more cancel culture, and stopping Sharia law as well. Many of our cases are about free speech, people who have expressed their beliefs in the workplace or on social media and then been cancelled or lost their job or their career as a result. So we would very much be in favour of robust free speech laws. We've also had a Christian organisation have its bank account removed as well. So scrapping the ability of banks to cancel you over your views would be a good thing as well. They also talk about cutting funding to universities that undermine free speech and changing the definition of a hate crime so it's not perception based as it is now. On foundations, generally no mention of Christianity, no mention of church either in this document, which is a shame because an earlier version did talk about Christian values. They do criticise multiculturalism in this document. And then some quite big constitutional reforms like proportional representation voting for the House of Commons and reforming the House of Lords and the civil service as well, leaving the European Convention on Human Rights and introducing a British Bill of Rights, quite big changes those. And then a new offence of substantial possession of drugs, which should be good in tackling drugs, and scrapping diversity, equality and inclusion roles as well. So a lot to welcome in here, a few things to be slightly questioning about. A shame they're getting rid of Christian values or omitting Christian values in there. Plenty to ask your candidates about, and do keep praying with us through this election period as well. Thank you.